Haha, cool. Woo! Bowling. Yeehaw. Whoa, more ammo. More bowling. Let's hit another bowling pin. Yeehaw. Now she's empty. Yes, the 1892 Winchester Hickok 45 here. And you might have been able to figure out from the title that something's 100 years old. You're probably trying to think, wait a minute, 1892, 100 years, there goes Hickok using that Kentucky math again. No, this gun, this specific firearm is 100 years old. So whenever we have a firearm that reaches a nice anniversary, at least an interesting anniversary to us, we're going to use that as an excuse to fire it and invite you to come along. Yes, this is 100 years this gun was made. If you saw the original video with it, I think we've done a chapter 2 as well. I'll link in the description. It was made in 1916. So, according to my math, and I am from Kentucky, that's 100 years, okay? Because we're looking at you in September of 2016. So 100 years and it's still working. You know, somebody's banged on the sight, they've turned it around. Talked about that, I think, in the first or second video about how some people like to do that if they're putting it in a scabbard and the sight wouldn't hang up as much and still works fine. Or they just wanted kind of a scout rifle sight a little bit further out the barrel there, don't know. I'm just leaving it that way, it's fine. But it's 100 years old and it kind of looks it, but it still works. Let's take it over here and reload it. You've seen it. If not, get to those other videos. But it's kind of cool because it is worn and it's old. It was actually made by Winchester back when Winchester was a real company. So that's pretty cool. And then on top of that, it's one of the coolest, the most sensible, most practical lever guns ever manufactured. And of course we all know who came up with it, right? Good old John Browning. And that makes sense. Yeah, I got enough in there. So far I've not had too much trouble with it. We're going to fire some federal ammo through it, some 158 grain soft point, as you can see, flat soft point. That should be safe for a tubular magazine, shouldn't it? So it looks like just what the doctor, because it's really nice. Even 357, as inexpensive, as common, they'll say, as the 357 38 is. You know, how many firearms are built every year and exist that are chambered for this kind of thing? It still doesn't make the ammo cheap, does it? So anyway, this is an old gun, and I'm glad to have an excuse to bring it out again. I will give you a little tidbit here. I brought it out. We were planning to do this sometime before January the 1st. Figure out why. And I got it out about a week and a half ago. It hadn't been all that long ago. And we were going to do it that day or that week. And I said, well, let me remind myself where this thing hits. I always like to do that with a firearm, and where to hold the sights and everything. If it shoots a tad high, low, or something. And click, click, click. I thought, oh, hang fire? A hang fire? That's weird. Never had that with this gun. The firing pin must be dirty. Well, I took those rounds out, and the primer had not even been touched. It looked just like that one. They were they were not touched. So I got to messing with it, and I finally figured out the firing pin did not protrude at all, no matter where I had the lever and everything. And turns out the firing pin broke. What a lame firearm. It's only 100 years old, and the firing pin broke, right? And here it is. This is the old one. You can see the difference. And here's a new one. You can see that tip is gone, so it's not going to be protruding through the bolt face, that's for sure. And so I'll hang on to the old one, I guess. I don't know if that's original or not. I'm not sure what kind of markings. Oh, there's a little bit. That might be the original firing pin. Probably is. And you know, I'll hang on to it. But I found a couple more, and I ordered two actually, and put one. And these are modern mill, hopefully from, better steel and everything. I don't mind having a firing pin that's not original, like, so what? I want one that will work and will hold up. So I got it in there, and it works. You just saw that, didn't you? Now, I know I was being sacrilegious, but as I was going through that process, I think I might have cursed John Browning a little bit. We've really gotten spoiled by our modern firearms and how easy they are to take apart, put back together. Now, you may not have any trouble. Of course, that was my first time to take apart a 92, and it was tricky, and it was even harder getting it back together. You got to get it out, you got to take it all apart, and it's just not simple. And you can see how it is. It's not like this whole plate comes off like on an 1873 or something, and you can just get to everything. You got to take this out and pull pieces out and hammer and get it out of the way, and then all this falls out, and then get in there and get the bolt out, and then take the bolt apart. There's a pin you have to knock out to get the bolt even out of the gun, actually. And then same for getting the pin out of the bolt. And let me give a shout out to, I looked at a couple of videos. YouTube can be handy for learning things. Sorry, I can't remember the guy that I looked at to get it back in there. I ran into a little trouble, and I found someone putting it back in, Mini something or something. But the Kentucky Gun Doctor, which I was not familiar with his channel, but I landed on his video in terms of disassembly and everything, and he disassembles the whole gun, but I just focused on the part that I needed to get that pin out and back in, and it was very helpful. So thank you, Kentucky Gun Doctor. I don't know if you're a real doctor or not aware of all your videos, but I appreciate it, because I had my phone here. Here's how time has changed since 1916. I had my phone out here, and his video, by the way, I think I didn't turn it down. I'm gonna get a call from Cindy Crawford in the middle of the video. I don't want to interrupt. She's always calling me, stalking me. Just kidding. Don't sue me, Cindy. But here I am with this video, and then I'm working on it. I go back to video, clean my hands, and look at it, and go, wait a minute, what is that? How you do that? Both of the videos I use. So YouTube actually can be useful. It's a useful tool, believe it or not. Let's shoot the thing a couple more times. So I'm very proud of myself for getting that thing apart and back together. You gals who are gunsmiths out there, you might think a 92 is simple, but you also have an appreciation for how it is more difficult than a Marlin and some other rifles. Let's shoot the red plate. Let's don't shoot it. There we go. Let's try the other one in the middle. How about the gong? How about a pig? How about not a pig? Out of ammo. So it's pretty interesting on the anniversary of this firearm to shoot it. And this is one I shoot a fair amount. Look at the first video again. It's 357 Magnum. If you want at least all the information I give. But it was not chambered originally in 357 Magnum. This one was sent back. It seems to be this original barrel with proof marks and everything, but it was rechambered. It was probably a 3220 originally, and rechambered for 357. I talk about that in the original video, and how in I think the 50s and 60s a lot of people did that with these. And it makes it a really handy rifle, of course, because 357 is pretty common, and it works just great with it. So pretty neat. 100 years old and it still works. That's the cool thing about firearms in general. The same gun, the same design is just as useful. You could take this thing deer hunting tomorrow with you if you wanted to, plink with it, whatever you wanted to do, and it's still useful. It's neat. It's also neat to think about when this firearm was made. Think about it. And I happen to know it was made, by Winchester, and it was made in, guess where? New Haven, Connecticut, of all places, making evil firearms. So, what was going on when the guys, mostly guys, I guess, were screwing this thing together and milling it out? The Woodrow Wilson was the president of the United States. The World War I was going on. I guess we weren't involved in it as much yet. 1916, the Mexican Revolution. We had troops down there trying to find Pancho Villa, if you recall, remember that day when he raided Columbus, New Mexico, and killed some people and burned the place. So we sent troops down into Mexico looking for him, but all that was going on as this firearm was being hammered out. The Titanic hadn't been at the bottom of the ocean for very long at that point. While this very gun was manufactured, and here it is, still in operation. Now let's put a couple on this target to I don't know, verify 2016. Yeah. A lot of people ask about those. We stick those in the box if it's one going back to buds, but if it's a different gun, we'll stick them on eBay. If it's not an auction gun, a borrowed gun. What else needs to be shot? How about a 11 or 12 ouncer? Oh man, blows the heck out of those things. We haven't done any pot smoking yet. How about a little more pot smoking? And what about some more bowling? Yeah. How about this guy? It always has more ammo than I expect. You know what? That turkey over there is giving me the evil eye. Yeah. And so is that pig. I started to say he thought he was going to survive because I ran out of ammo a minute ago, but I can always put a couple more in. We'll shoot a couple more. Just wanted to celebrate this rifle, John Browning. I actually didn't curse John Browning. I mean, it was 1892 when he designed it, and he didn't design it to be taken apart easily by goofball shade tree gunsmiths, you know, in Tennessee necessarily. He wanted a rifle that works. And then also he probably assumed everybody wasn't as stupid as I am, you know, and find it easy. I don't know. And this is the days prior to Glocks and SIGs and all these other firearms that, you know, you got it apart, you know, in a matter of seconds. And rifles generally, just because of the nature of the receiver and everything's going on there in a lever gun, a little more involved. I have taken apart in 1873 the Toggle Link series of guns, and they're not a walk in the park either, but you can take that plate off the side and you can get to everything. They're a little tricky, but I've taken those totally out and apart and back together, cleaned them up. My 1873, because I shot a lot of black powder cartridges in it, and I had to periodically. But anyway, it's a little tricky. Anybody that's done it will vouch for that. And again, though, if I were doing it regularly, if I were taking it apart in 1892, like once every couple of months, cleaning it, not that you have to do that to clean it, but taking it totally apart, the action and everything, and I would learn the tricks, you know, in lining up things, and like that screw there that lines up the hammer and the lever right here. Again, I thought once I got the bolt back in, wow, because that was tricky getting the bolt and the bolt and the what do you call them? I can't think what they're called that come up and lock it in there. But I thought, okay, finally, I'm to the point where the rest of this will be a breeze, but it really wasn't. There were a couple of things that still gave me a lot of trouble. The locking blocks, you know, still gave me a lot of trouble. So, but I got it. I thought I was going to have to take it to a gunsmith in parts with my tail between my legs and say, "Can you put this back together for me?" That happens a lot with gunsmiths. Oh man, nice. Nice. We still haven't got a pig though. Went just over it, I think. There we go. Okay, wouldn't lay him off the hook or anything. What I want to, let's go to the red plate again. Oh, killed him. I killed him. And just a little more bowling. Moving target. All right. Yeah. Yeehaw. Pretty cool. After 100 years, still works fine. What else would you expect from John Browning? Just a great design, and we've talked about some of the features of it before and how it's just kind of a scaled down 1886. And it's such a handy rifle, such a handy rifle. If you have any interest in these rifles, there's a lot of people still making them, reproductions of them. Even Winchester, Browning, I think, make them, and they're a little bit different, but they make them, and they're just wonderful rifles. We have several videos on them. You can search the channel. You know how to do that. See FAQ 54 if you don't. And anything on the 92, we've done several videos on them, and on this gun and another one I have. But this one is really special. It's so convenient, and the ammo is so available. 357 ammo is everywhere, and it still shoots great. Yeah, shoots better than I do. May not be saying a lot. Life is good. Oh, well, since I'm still here, let me take this moment to thank SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute, for their support of the channel. We appreciate their help. SDI is a place where you can get certified in gunsmithing. You can even get an associate's degree in firearms technology and work in various areas of the firearms field. Might be appealing to you. They work a lot with veterans, and just a pretty cool place. So check out the link, sdi.edu. The link is in the description of most videos, almost all videos for the last 6 months or more. So check that out. Also, while I have you, since I'm still here, be sure to check the links in all the descriptions, because we're on Full 30 now, also with all the videos. So there's a link in the descriptions to Full 30, as well as, of course, our sponsors, SDI, ButtsGunShop.com, Federal Premium. So all the good information is there, as well as keep in mind that on Hickok 45 and Son, we have quite a few videos over there. John's doing the Gun Culture radio show over there. Check it out if you haven't done that yet. Our Facebook page, the Hickok 45 Facebook, the Hickok 45 and Son Facebook page. That's where we try to stay in touch with you and give you a little extra information. Even post pictures and a little video occasionally, just whatever. Mainly just a way to keep up with you all and provide some more information. We're not really Facebookers, but it's a pretty good system for that, even though most of us are not in love with Facebook, right? So check all that out, and you really had better check it out, because I might just have to come to your house and have a chat with you if you don't. And I expect to have coffee and donuts ready when I get there. Right.